Shanghai, the third biggest city in the world, is where you can find all the action. As the vibrant center of China's thriving economy, it's the best place to experience the country's past, present, and future. Dubbed the Enchanting City, or Capital of Magic, Shanghai offers countless wonders for us to discover. So let's take a look at the top 5. At number 5, we have the Shanghai Tower. It's the tallest building in China at 2,073 feet and has 128 floors above ground. The construction for this project started in 2009 and was completed in 2015. Because of its impressive height, this structure is hard to miss as you're walking the streets of the city. But the experience won't be complete unless you visit the observation deck on the 118th floor. And even though there are a few more floors above it, it's still considered the highest indoor observation deck in the world. From this height, you can enjoy a unique 360-degree panoramic view of the entire city and beyond, stretching from the Huangpu River to the Bund and encompassing nearby skyscrapers like the World Financial Center and Jinmao Tower. From the observation deck, take the express elevator to Basement 1 to check out the exhibition hall. This will take only 55 seconds, and you can explore current events, shows, and exclusive exhibitions. The exhibition continues on the tower's 125th floor, where you will see the Eye. The Eye is a gigantic device that aims to aim and educate visitors about the architectural genius behind this massive structure. Have you ever wondered how the building can stand at over 1,000 feet without losing balance? Well, it's all thanks to what they call the tuned mass damper. This is a large pendulum that's suspended by cables. It acts as a counterweight and it works to stabilize the tower in case of extreme loads or natural disasters. That's just the gist of it. You can learn more about the logistics of it all through multiple immersive and interactive media installations. Trust me, this experience is one that will spark your imagination and leave you with a good lasting impression. From the iconic tower to the famous waterfront, let's take a detour now to the Bund, also known as Waitan. Much like the Shanghai Tower, the Bund is symbolic of the city. Located on the west bank of the Huangpu River, this popular tourist destination spans over 1,500 meters and offers unparalleled views of Shanghai's past, present, and future. Here's why. When you visit the Bund, you'll be situated right in the middle of the city. On one side, you can see an exhibition of international buildings and come face to face with Shanghai's century-old history. You'll be impressed with the 52 buildings that feature international architectural styles, from classical Renaissance to French classical and Gothic styles. Then, across the river, you get an exceptional view of the bustling metropolis, where you can see modern building clusters, including the Oriental Pearl TV Tower, Jinmao Tower, and, of course, Shanghai Tower. At night, these modern structures light up like it's Christmas. And you'll realize just why Shanghai is nicknamed the Enchanting City. If you want, you can also take a 3 to 5 minute ride on the speed train that takes you through the tunnel full of radiating lights. The ticket fare for a single trip is 50 yuan, and for round trip, it's 70 yuan. At the end of the short ride, you'll definitely want to do it one more time. It's that magical. Besides the sightseeing tunnel, you can also take the Huangpu River cruise if you want a relaxing tour of both sides of the Bund. To me, this is the best way to get the full picture of how the East meets the West and how tradition mixes with modernity. The cruise costs 120 to 400 yuan per person, and the price typically depends on the season. So, if you plan on going to Shanghai during peak season from May to August, expect the price to be on the higher end. Located in Qingpu District, just on the outskirts of the city, Jujiajao is known as the Venice of Shanghai. This ancient water town covers around 47 square kilometers and boasts a rich history spanning over 1,700 years. More than that, it's one of the best preserved ancient towns in the region. The first thing you'll notice in this old town is the bridges. There are 36 bridges here, and each one was built during the Ming and Qing dynasties. What's special about them is that each one has a distinctive feature, from the shape and style to the material. Some bridges are made from wood, others from stone, and still others from marble. Among the 36 bridges, the longest, largest, and tallest stone bridge is called the Fangsheng Bridge. It was built in 1571, and it has 5 tunnels for boats to easily pass through. Another fun fact about this landmark is that when you stand on the bridge, you'll see a stone tablet named Dragon Gate Stone. Its name comes from the engraving of 8 recoiling dragons around a shining pearl. Besides that, there's also the Lang Bridge, which others refer to as the Huimin Bridge. This is the only wooden bridge in Jujiajao Watertown, so it's worth checking out. Another must-see spot in Jujiajao is North Street. Though it's only a kilometer long, walking through this historic street feels like stepping back in time. Every narrow lane is lined with centuries-old buildings and long-established stores. In fact, North Street is over 400 years old, making it the oldest street in Shanghai. How cool is that? Apart from the intricate bridges and old streets, Jujiajao also boasts beautiful gardens, with Keji Garden being the largest. Tucked away on Shijin Street, this quiet and secluded garden offers a peaceful escape. Among its lush landscapes, you'll find a striking 5-story building and a charming pavilion perfect for taking in the scenic views. It truly feels like a little slice of paradise. So far, we've gone through a cultural expedition through Shanghai's iconic landmarks and ancient towns. Now, it's time for the fun part: shopping at Nanjing Road. Nanjing Road is right next to the Bund, and it's the busiest street in the city. It's divided into 2 sections, the East and the West Road. Together, they host hundreds upon hundreds of shops, from your favorite luxury labels to more traditional and specialty stores. Nanjing Road truly is a shopaholic dream, and it's the best place for retail therapy. The only downside is, because there are so many stores, it's easy to get overwhelmed. So I'll help you narrow down your search by sharing with you the top shopping spots, starting with the East Nanjing Road. The East Road ranges from Tibet Middle Road all the way to the First Road at Zhongshan East. It's around 1,599 meters long, and if there's one place to shop in this area, it's at the #1 department store. Here, you'll find all the goodies you can think of, like jewelry, cosmetics and perfume, clothing, tech, art, and books. If you're looking for more specialized items, say silk, you can head over to Silk King for exquisite clothes and luxurious fabrics. Then, if you're on the hunt for children's items, stop by the Bao Daxiang Shopping for Kids. When translated, the shop literally means kids grow up with good luck. After a quick stroll on the East Road, make your way to the West Nanjing Road, where you can shop for international brands like Omega, Gucci, Marc Jacobs, Chopard, Salvatore Ferragamo, Tiffany's, Jean-Paul Gaultier, and so much more. Once you've had enough shopping, grab a bite at the popular restaurants and dessert shops on the West Road. I particularly love Dadong Roast Duck Restaurant, Haiti, and Pinsos Restaurant. Exploring both sides of Nanjing Road will take you a few hours, if not the whole day, but if you only have a couple of hours to spare, I suggest picking a side and sticking to it. Just take note that East Nanjing Road is more crowded because of its proximity to the Bund. So, which side are you checking out first? Whatever you choose, I'm 100% positive you won't leave this shopping street empty-handed. Because of Shanghai's sheer size, there's so much to discover and love about this city. So, I want to share some notable places that didn't make the cut, but are still worth visiting if you have the time. The Oriental Pearl Tower is an iconic landmark in Shanghai. It's located across the Huangpu River, and it's an integral part of the city's skyline. Jinmao Tower is another remarkable destination. While it's not as tall as the Shanghai Tower, it still offers a unique experience called Wander in the Clouds, where visitors can walk along a 60-meter glass skywalk without any railing. For those who love nature, Yu Garden or Yuyuan Garden is a must-visit. It's famous for its classical Chinese landscape right beside the City of God Temple. It's only 1 kilometer from the Bund, so it's easy to take a side trip here if you're ever up for it. Now that I've given you the ins and outs of the city, let's unveil what's at the #1 spot. As the capital of magic, there's no better attraction to top this Shanghai travel guide than Shanghai Disneyland. If you've ever been to other Disneyland and Disney World parks in the US, you might think that the experience is exactly the same. But that's not true at all. Shanghai Disneyland is one of the most technologically advanced Disney parks in the world, and it offers unique shows and attractions that are distinctly Chinese in flavor. From the public transportation all the way to the souvenirs, let's talk about public transportation. Did you know that there's a dedicated line on the Shanghai Metro station that takes you directly to the front gates of the theme park? On top of that, the fee is no more than a basic subway fare. Because of this, going to Shanghai Disneyland has never been more convenient and more accessible. Another interesting tidbit about Shanghai Disneyland is that there's no American railway that takes you around the park. That's because railroads do not resonate with the Chinese culture. There's also no haunted mansion here because the Chinese revere the spirits of the dead. Despite the absence of these iconic attractions, the park more than makes up for it in other unique ways. For one, there's a built-in amphitheater around the enchanted storybook castle, which is the first of its kind. Not only that, but you'll find Treasure Cove here, which you can't find in other Disney parks. It's essentially a Pirates of the Caribbean-themed ride, but with more technology, precise boat movements, huge sets, illusions, and live appearances. Besides those, the snacks and souvenirs in Shanghai Disneyland are one of a kind. Some of them feature familiar foods with a hint of an Asian twist, from a Sesame Mickey cracker to potato gems with meat floss. Overall, the Shanghai Disneyland experience is unlike any other Disneyland experience you can have, so don't miss out on this magical activity while you're in town. Shanghai is the city where you can witness the past, present, and future intertwine with one another in perfect harmony. From the modern skyscrapers to the old streets, you really get to immerse yourself in the Chinese culture like never before. So, what's the first thing you'd love to see when you visit the city? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love this next one.